opened in 1952 on 12 acres. So right now the zoo has about 300 animals of about 80 different species or so. We have mostly mammals, which would be the monkeys and the other primates, anteaters, some small animals that we use for education programs. We also have a farmyard. We have some cats or ocelots, and we have a walk-through bird aviary. So we have a little bit of a diversity here at the zoo. So one of my favorite animals, of course, is the giant anteater, because I went to UC Irvine. But it's also the pygmy marmoset, which is the world's smallest monkey. It's about that big. And they're native to the rainforests of South America. So one of the things that we're here for is for conservation and for education. So we have an education department here at the zoo. We do zoomobiles, which are outreach programs to the community. We take some of our animals here at the zoo. We bring them to a school. We teach the kids about them. We also do animal presentations for the public on the weekends. We have special events. We have activities, and we try to do outreach to the local community too, so that they know the zoo is here, because not everyone knows. We're sort of hidden.
I like to interact with students because I like to open their minds to the possibility of all of the things that are out there for them in the field of science. So I am a science educator by trade. Animals are my passion, but I like to see the light bulb go on with any branch of science.
The way that the zoo came about was in 1949, there was a man, Joseph Prentice, who lived across the street in a Victorian mansion. And he had this idea that they would open a park in the city of Santa Ana, and it would have 50 monkeys at all times. So the city agreed to that, and we actually have in the deed for the zoo that we must have 50 monkeys at all times.
Some of our most endangered animals are the golden lion tamarins, our lemurs.
We want to help preserve these animals for future generations, and we also want to educate the visiting public about these animals, about their native habitats, and how the different actions we could take that could help them in the future. So there's a lot of different threats to wildlife and wild lands, and they vary. So it could be climate change, it could be fragmentation of the land habitats, it could be hunting, it could be the food source is dwindling, it could be drought. There's all sorts of things that happen. Right now we're starting a conservation project with a local amphibian. It's a mountain yellow-legged frog. It's a frog that used to be really common in our local mountain ranges, and right now they're down to about 200 adults. So very, very rare. It has a number of different effects. There's introduced trout. There's a fungus that affects them that's hurting the population. So we have a special laboratory we're setting up where we're going to try breeding them and then introducing the offspring back into the wild. So that's one example of a conservation project we're involved in right now. I think everybody thinks of a zoo as, they picture a zookeeper, which is a really important position here at the zoo. If someone was coming to have an inside look at the zoo, they'd learn there's a lot more to a zoo than just taking care of the animals. There's a whole botanical garden surrounding us, which takes a lot of care with the plants. There's also people that do education, there's visitor services, there's veterinarians, so and even the maintenance staff that take care of the facilities and the exhibits. So there's a whole body of people that are involved in operating a zoo, from the zookeepers to the people that are raising money for the zoo operations.